Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the Beyond Bitcoin Show. Today is May the 18th, 2019, Preakness Day back in Baltimore. Strong hand, unconfiscatable. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Personal responsibility is the new countercurrent culture. Deferral gratification. Avoid mediocrity. Conviction, baby. Have that conviction. All right. Check out yesterday's show, This Week in Bitcoin, techbalt.com, disruptmeister.com. Unbelievable show. Some people are saying it's one of the top 3 This Week in Bitcoin shows ever. Stefan Livera was on. Oh, it was a wild, wacky time. It went over an hour. You will learn about gold and hold and why Bitcoin is better and all sorts of stuff. So check it out. And of course, check out all my podcasts at sportsmeister.com. Follow me on Twitter at techbalt, TECHBALT. This shirt says Satoshi on it. You can get shirts like this, Satoshi Nakamoto, link to below. And yes, you can ask questions this show. I see Vention is in the chat. I'm going to talk about you quite a bit, Vention, in about a minute. So hang on. Because this is the Beyond Bitcoin show. We're going to go beyond Bitcoin. So you guys can ask me Bitcoin questions. You can ask me beyond Bitcoin questions too. That would be nice. I'm going to be speaking in Long Beach, California on Thursday. Information about that is linked to below. I'm looking forward to meeting some of you that are long-term watchers. It's going to be a lot of fun, 7 p.m. And you'll get to see that this wild, wacky guy you see on the internet is exactly the same in person. All right. So I noticed, even though this is the Beyond Bitcoin show, I'll start out with Bitcoin. Shabbat ended and I checked the internet and I see, oh, well, look at that Bitcoin price there. And it just made me think it's surging again. This has been happening at night lately. And if you wanted to, people are at, why is the price rising at a why? Well, more people think, well, they can sell it for more later. People want it. And so if you were smart and you wanted to buy it, when would you buy it? You'd probably buy it on a Saturday night around midnight on the East Coast. That would be a time to do it. Or you would just do it at night when it's night on the East Coast. Again, people are you biased for America? No, I'm a realist. Most people buying Bitcoin are in America, right? Okay, most of the action is in America, probably on the East Coast, probably some in Silicon Valley, but whatever. So, hey, why is this a coincidence that all these surges go on at night? I don't know. I don't care. But there's a theory for you right there, and I just wanted to start the show with that. But yeah, if you were some person and you didn't have access to this legendary OTC market and you had to buy it on exchanges, you would do it at nighttime on the East Coast. And such buys would start triggering other people to buy and what we've been seeing. But hey, you know what? Bear market, we hit our low. 3,100 was the low. We've been through this before. Watch Friday's show. So let's now talk about health. Let's talk about a new health technique of mine. Before we get into fasting, which is it's something I still do, of course, and been doing for a while. Cold showers. Oh my God. I've been, after I work out now, I've been jumping in the shower. I just turn that thing on without the heat. You put that on your spine. Oh man, that wakes you up. You put that on it wakes you up. Okay, but it really wakes you up more when it hits your spine than down there. It has an effect when it hits you down there. But man, but then over time, I've gotten used to it. Now, I've been doing this since the end of my stay in Baltimore, okay? Now, I've read some things about this. It gets the blood flowing, gets the heart moving faster. It gets rid of some type of fat on people. I don't know. It's healthy. I can tell it's good. I feel very invigorated after doing it. And this is after I work out. Hey, I mean, I've been doing it more than once now a day. It's been great. Now, I do want to add this. I have been doing a variation of cold showers for quite some time. I think since the early part of this decade, at the very least, I can't remember how long I've been doing this for now. I only wash my hair with cold water. And the reason I do that is to preserve my hair, so my hair won't fall out. My father lost his hair. I mean, pretty early age and stuff. I have many male relatives that lost their, and you know, and sometimes you just can't stop it, guys. Okay. But if you think about it, if you're always washing your hair with warm water, it will dry your scalp out at the very least. And that could damage your hair. So for many years, I have been washing my hair just with cold water, but that's not the same as like your whole naked body in there with cold water running on it. And when I only get it wet for a little bit, and then I, put the baking soda in and everything. Again, only natural products. And I have been able to preserve my hair pretty well. I mean, that could be diet. It could just be my genetic makeup, but I don't think it hasn't hurt my hair eating healthy and washing it with baking soda and just washing it in cold water. I mean, I could have gotten some genetics from my mother's side of the family. Her father didn't. He kept his hair pretty nicely, I guess, similar to mine. So maybe that's it. But whatever, dudes. Cold enough with the hair stuff. Okay. First of all, again, don't take that Preakness shot. I have said that many times. It makes your body think you're hermaphrodite. It's not good. I've heard nightmare stories about guys, their testosterone levels going down horribly and becoming very depressed. And being very depressed is worse than losing your hair. Again, I know a lot of young guys value their wealth in women, and thus they think if they lose their hair, they're not going to get any women. There are plenty of women out there that don't care about hair. Trust me. I have spoken to hot women who just like, I like bald men. I don't even notice hair, blah, blah, blah. You hear the stuff you see on the internet that scares you is superficial stuff. Okay. So now again, obviously I thought in that manner. I was worried about that. There's no doubt about it. I did not want to lose my hair. I did value my wealth in women. And that is just something that young guys go through. I mean, I understand why some people think like that, but hey, wash your whole body in cold water to extend, who knows? That's much better for long-term outlook than, don't value your wealth in women. I know it's hard. Value your wealth in Bitcoin. That is the theme here. Always been the theme. Pound that like button. The Halving Show, he's I guess he's in Norway because he sends me 20 Norwegian kroner. And I was in Norway a year ago. I was in Bergen at this time last year. I believe it was Preakness Day I was there by. Yeah. Anyway, he says, new video, 0.28 Bitcoin. Share it with people you love. Okay, so go to the Halving Show's channel, looking him up, the Halving Show. I'll try to link to him in a second. All right. So what else do we have here? Okay, so Venshin. Venshin is in the chat. It's always good to see Venshin here. Now, we're not going to go over his whole situation, but he does have, he has cancer, and he is trying out all sorts of different techniques, okay? He doesn't want to get the chemo, and he's changed his lifestyle totally, gotten healthy, gotten rid of sugars, and just gotten rid of the bad things. He's lost a lot of weight, and it's great. And there are people on his channel saying, oh my God, Venshin, you got to take this seriously. You got to take this seriously. You got to get chemo, this, that, and the other. Now, again, you can see the way people grow up in America and the Western world, where you can understand where they're coming from. They're worried about Venshin. He's not going to get chemo right away, at least, and they think that he could die suddenly. Okay, and again, I understand their fears, and you know what, he is comfortable with what he is doing here. Okay, but then I think there are some people that are saying, hey, Venshin, you got to get serious about some other aspects of it, because to me, Venshin is trying like a mix and match of a lot of different things here. He's experimenting, and that's good. Now, there's only a certain amount of time you have to experiment. Okay, there's only a certain amount. I think some people are worried that he doesn't have that much time to experiment. Now I want to add a little bit here. So Venshin, one of the things he wanted to do was fasting. Now, intermittent fasting is great. Intermittent fasting is great if you want to be a healthy person. I have done it for 22 hours every single day. Well, since 2013, it's been 20 hours. It eventually morphed into 22 hours every single day. And it's been great for me. It's been great for me. Now, is that going to fix your cancer? No, it is not going to fix your cancer. I've never read anything that intermittent fasting will do anything to your cancer. It'll make you a healthier person, but you're still going to have the cancer. I link to a video that I think everyone should watch. If you know someone with cancer, if you have cancer, if you're worried about getting cancer, I have mentioned this man before, Dr. Thomas Seyfried. He is the one who introduced me to longer fasting, okay? More than 24 hours, basically more than 3 days. And if you're going to watch any part of this video, watch at the hour and 2 minute and 30-second mark. Again, it's linked to below. He says, well, one of the things he says is that at least try a 5-day fast if you're trying to attack your cancer. And I think he recommends 7 days. Okay. There are people out there that say 3 days, 5 days, it restarts your immune system. Okay. Now that's different than killing your cancer. Restarting your immune system and killing your cancer are different things. Now, it is great to restart your immune system. I do at least two 72-hour fasts every year. My record is 120 hours. That is 5 days. Now, he was in the video, Dr. Thomas Seyfried, who is very much into fasting as a cure of cancer, and again, like 7-day fasting, and he even admits it's hard for him to do. He said, if I had cancer, I would stop eating and then maintain ketosis for a while, just maintain ketosis with a high-fat, healthy diet. This theory can help us take control of cancer via tactics such as yearly or more frequent 7-day water fast. Okay, so the man behind fasting research says the first thing he would do if he found out he has cancer was fast. That is also the first thing I would do. If somehow I found out I had cancer, I would immediately stop eating immediately for at least 7 days. There wouldn't be an ifs, ands, or buts about it. And there are no shortcuts to it. There are no shortcuts. So something that Avention has mentioned is that, he'll take he'll do a bulletproof coffee, and there'll be something else, and then he'll continue to fast. That's not it. That's not it. To do a fast, and this is not a rip on Avention, this is not a rip on anyone. I'm just telling everyone, you get results from this stuff with conviction. There are no shortcuts. It is total conviction. You cannot eat a thing during the fast. There is no break during the fast. It must be continuous, because if you eat something, it restarts everything. And it's just like that's it. If it's after 3 days, that's it. And then if you start fasting again, you start a new fast. There's no magic shortcut. You must do it to the end. A water fast. Again, you can drink water, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I just want to stress that to everyone, because a lot of people have these variations on their fast. I had some this, I had some that. You don't put a thing in your body but water, period. If you're suffering or whatever, it's working, basically. You just drink water. That's the only thing you can do. There are no breaks, because it's a total waste of your time if you're doing a 7-day fast and you eat after 3 days, and then you eat after 2 more days, and you eat after 1 more day. That's not, you'll be healthier, but we're talking about people with cancer here, okay? And so you don't really want to waste 7 days. You don't want to waste 7 days. You want to do it as hardcore as possible. When everything I do is hardcore, okay? So when you are trying to fix something that is as serious as cancer or maybe some other health issue, you cannot take any shortcut. If you even fathom that maybe this is a shortcut, don't do it. Do not do it at all. Just do the most hardcore way of doing it, okay? And that is just water the whole time for a fast. Because again, you hear these people like, oh yeah, I did a fast for 5 days and I drank this water juice and this orange juice, and it's nonsense. If you're a fruit juice that's sugar in your body. That's just defeating the entire purpose of it. Now, I'm tossing this out there because it is hard to do. You read a lot of people saying they fasted, they didn't even fast. That's how hard this is to do. That even some of the people that say they fasted didn't really fast. They were putting stuff in their water. Their body. You're giving your digestive system a complete break. Your body is not digesting anything, so that your body can work on other parts of your immune system, whatever, can fix other parts of your body. Imagine that if you are eating all the time, people. If you give your body a break to work on other things in your body, imagine what it can do. As a healing, the body can heal itself. But if it's too busy digesting, it's going to default to digest first, okay? So if you eat anything, it's immediately going to switch to worrying about digestion again instead of worrying about fixing some very important things in you. So this is a serious way of looking at it. But again, watch this guy, Thomas Seyfried, watch the whole video. It is going to inspire you about fasting, and not just if you have cancer, but just maintaining a regular health. Okay, so we've got another. So yeah, pound that like button. And RA808G says, Bitcoin Meister, if women were sufficiently cheap, would you buy one? If so, what's your magic number? Would I buy one? No, I don't have to. I've never had to buy one. They're always free. Why would I pay for something that I can get for free? Pound that like button. They are pretty cheap. I mean, you can get women without buying them. What I would like to have, and I've said this before, I would like to have a son. I would like to have a son, but I would not like to get married at this point. Definitely, I've had women around me for the majority of my life, my adult life. I've had girlfriends. I've had this. I've had going from girl to girl, and it really takes up a lot of time, and it can be very distracting, and it's fun to have intercourse. Oh, it is fun. I'm not going to lie, but it really isn't that great. in the larger perspective of things, if you've already experienced it plenty of times, you can satisfy yourself and have a lot of free time, have a lot of free money. But so yeah, I think in the future, as I become older and much less attractive physically, I mean, because I would be willing to pay a woman to have my child, and then I would have the child, though. Like that I would be willing to do something like that, but not to pay for the company of a woman. No, never. But there's some ethical things that go into this. Pay a woman to have your son, and then the son is yours, and then is she going to want the son, and this, that, and the other? Doesn't the son need a mother? These are things to think about. But so yeah, I would pay a woman to have my son. Yeah, that. And so we might get the technology in the future where you could be sure that she's going to have a son for you, and who knows? So in that sense, yeah, I would like to have a son one day. That is something that I have not denied, but I don't. The way marriage is today, I don't want to be around I guess I'd be willing to, be officially married, but where she couldn't take my assets, and where I wouldn't have to see her at all or hardly at all, and where she wouldn't say, you have to, where I wouldn't have to go to social events with the woman and everything like that. And again, where there'd be no commitments in terms of just the ridiculous stuff that marriage brings. But I'd be happy to help her raise the kid and stuff like that. And if it involved paying her a large sum of money, then that's great. I'd get my son, and she would get the glory of being Adam Meister's wife and having my money and having nice things. I would get her nice things and stuff, I guess, if she wanted nice things. I mean, I am, by the time I'm 60 years old, I'm going to be, I mean, the way Bitcoin's going, I'll be incredibly wealthy, I assume. And so, yeah, I mean, there's a give and a take there. But at this point, to pay for the company of a woman, no, never. To pay a woman to have my son, I would, that I would definitely do. That I would do. So, I mean, I know that sounds some people don't get that. Then, everyone's a little different, whatever. All right. So, Vention sent $5. Thank you, dude. He says, a great way to make fasting easier is to go low carb first and get used to it then. Yeah, well, that is true. Then after a couple of weeks of that, do the fast, and it's way easier. Yeah, because there are a lot of people that are hooked on sugar. There are a lot of people who are just addicted to that high that they get. So, I can, if someone wants to ease their way into having a long-term fast, then, go low carb, then go intermittent fasting, and then go have a long fast. But again, I mean, eventually you're taking this very calm. You got a great attitude. Again, me personally and Dr. Seyfried, if we found out we had cancer, first thing we do is just drop food immediately. I mean, I would just stop eating immediately and just start the experimentation right then and there for that first 7-day fast would be just like that. But again, I guess not everybody can do that, etc. I am an advanced faster at this point, so it's easy for me to say all this stuff too. So what are we going to say? All right. Okay, and now here's a person that says, try Zevia drinks. They are a good alternative to pop. 0 calories with stevia. I mean, why don't you just drink water instead of something with chemical? I don't get. I've only drank water since 2014. That's the only thing I've had to drink. I don't know why. I don't understand the concept of drinks anymore. I really don't. I don't see the benefit of them at all, because they got sugary alternatives, sugar this. I don't know. Again, if you're drinking Zevia when you're fasting, you're not really fasting. I'm sorry, you're not. It's not pure water. It's some chemical. Your body is going to have to deal with that chemical in some way instead of focusing on healing other parts of the body. It's a shortcut. It's a total shortcut. You got to go hard. Now, again, if you're not trying to fast or whatever, and you're addicted to soda and this, and I guess that might be an alternative to wean yourself off these other things. But all right. Mike Stone said, too much information, dude. No, it's not too much information. If I told you the size of my ramp, that'd be probably too much information. Or if I showed you the hair on my backside. I mean, there are guys out there who are going to be wealthy dudes who can, you don't have to go the traditional way of life, get married, do X, Y, and Z. There's freedom out there. I mean, and if you don't mind, I mean, again, you might want to fit into normal society, and just you think that's, what I'm talking about is too much information. And yeah, for people in normal society, some of the stuff I'm saying, like, oh, he can't be in my, but this is the Bitcoin overlay. This is a Bitcoin. So I can say whatever the heck I want to say. It doesn't matter. I can create. I've got wealth. I can create my own path. I can go my own way. And if women don't like that, that's great. There are going to be some women that would be really happy to do what I said. And of course, the big thing that I forgot to say in that, I have to have a Jewish son. So it has to be a Jewish woman. That is the big thing here. And that's a huge thing. Huge thing. That's what I should have said. I have to have it has to be a Jewish woman that would have my child. It just, no, I would never, ever not, I would never conceive a child with the son. I would be destroyed. My life would be over if I had a child that was not Jewish. It would just, I wouldn't be able to go on. I don't know. I can't even explain to you what it would mean to me personally. And we're not going to get into all that stuff right now, but no, it would have to be a Jewish woman. So no artificial sweeteners while fasting. Eventually, over time, will produce insulin response. No artificial sweeteners while fasting. Eventually, over time. That's what RA803G says. Dude, I don't think fasting. Just water. There's plenty of people who do it. Don't worry about artificial sweeteners, et cetera, et cetera. Just water. Your body is killing stuff. It's eating itself by giving it nothing. It is eating itself. It's eating some nasty things in there. It's taking care of some nastiness. All right. So anything without sugar, no, it's so anything without sugar, like bulletproof coffee, is permitted during fasting. No, it's not, dude. If you're going to die of cancer, okay, and you're trying to fix cancer, why do you care if you're having taste in your mouth? Dude, it's the end. If you die, that's it. It's over, dude. Why care? Why argue these points? Like, it's fine to have some stevia in there. It's fine to have XYZ added in there. It's fine. You're still fasting when you're adding something. Add nothing. You're going to die. You're going to die if you don't kill the cancer. Why? Why these shortcuts and stuff? I don't get it. Watch Thomas Seyfried. He does, you can mix this stevia stuff in there and you'll be fine. Yeah. Your cancer will still die. Of course. No. Why try this? Why? I don't understand. I don't get it. And I mean, it's nice to be comfortable, but when you're going to die, you better try. You better get as hardcore as you can get. Get as hardcore as you can get. All right. So moving on. No more fasting here. College Board will use an undisclosed set of metrics to classify all takers of the SAT along a scale of privilege or disadvantage called the adversity score. So, okay, now you're going to take the SAT. You're still into that college thing. You're a kid. You want to get into college. And now they're going to add the adversity score. So if you're from a minority group, you'll get a higher score. They're not even hiding it anymore. Okay? And so there are going to be some kids out there that are just going to be like, this is it, man. Why do I even want to get into college anymore? Why do I want to do this if the whole game is rigged? So, I mean, they can do this. It's the free market. I mean, it's the free world. Let them do what they're going to do. If you want to still play the college game and be discriminated against and have your, if you come from a wealthy white family and you're not going to get bonus points, then whatever, you can deal with it. I mean, that's it. If you want to still play that game, you can still play that game. That's your thing. But a lot of people are just going to be like, I'm out of this game. And this is so outrageous, this adversity score, that we might start seeing alternatives to college pop up, like online education and just ways of, new paths. Again, this show, Beyond Bitcoin, we're about discussing new paths, thinking non-traditional ways. So I hope this inspires some online educators to say, hey, you don't want to deal with the adversity score, come to my online college. I'll teach you everything you need to know to be successful in life in Bitcoin, blah, 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 blah. But again, it is hard for 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds to not fit in and not go this traditional college route. But hey, maybe this is the spark that'll start something. Now, I do want to say something. If you are just so into going into college and you just want to party and go and do what all the 18-year-olds or 22-year-olds do, but you don't want to pay, or maybe you're not that smart, or you don't want to work that hard, but you're an athlete, let's say. And maybe if you're a minority athlete too, there's a lot of minority athletes. They think, oh, basketball and football, man, that's the key, man. That's the key to getting me into college, and then I'm going to be successful, blah, blah, blah. And just because you get in college doesn't mean you're going to be successful. It does, if you're good at basketball and football, you are going to get into college. You'll get that college experience, whatever that means. Now, again, football is going to be a thing of the past soon. For all the minority people that are in football right now, and you should be looking what the white parents are doing now. They're not letting their kids play football anymore because they don't want their kids' brains to be injured. So in 30 years, if you've got brain damage, it's no one's fault but yours. You were playing football. The white kids are already starting not to play football, okay? Because their parents are saying no. So I mean, if you are a minority person, any person, this football thing is a serious thing. You get concussions. It seems like now it's being proven that over time it's not very good for your health and your intelligence. But still, there are other sports. Basketball, that's fine to play, but there's a lot of competition in the basketball. If you're a minority athlete, if you're a white athlete, if you're whatever, if you want to go to a good college, get a scholarship, play lacrosse. Seriously, play lacrosse. It'll get you into all the good schools. You can go to Penn, you can go to North Carolina, you can go to Maryland, for free. And there's not there are not that many kids that play lacrosse now. It's the thing in the future. So again, I'm not saying to be an athlete. I'm not saying that you need to go to college, but there's some people who like those type of things. Stop playing football, play lacrosse. And right now, lacrosse is way overwhelmingly white. So the black kids should, I would say, if you're a black kid, don't play football, play lacrosse, and be awesome at it if you can be awesome at it, and then you'll be able to go to some really good schools, and if that's the thing you want to do, and have a fun time at those really good schools. But lacrosse is definitely a way into these colleges that a lot of people don't think of. And if you're a dad and you like to play sports with your kid and you live vicariously through your kid, get him to play lacrosse instead of basketball and football. I think it'll increase his odds of getting into college. If he values his wife and if he values his wealth in women also, again, lacrosse always seemed to be a way to get some of those private school ladies. If you're into that thing. Now, I'm not saying to be into that thing. You probably shouldn't be into those things. Be into Bitcoin. All right. But seriously about that football head injuries, yeah, go for lacrosse over that. Pound that like button. What do we have here? Oh, yeah, this is from Jeff Vandrew, who's been on my show before. These rage quits over the Game of Thrones finale or whatever are ludicrous. Don't let AT&T Time Warner Corp control your emotions to the point where it can literally upset you. I watch TV, although not Game of Thrones, so I'm not even moralizing as some anti-TV guy here. Well, Jeff Vandrew, thank you very much. Yes, People are taking this Game of Thrones thing way too seriously. I've never watched it. I have no idea what goes on it. Don't let AT&T Time Warner Corp control your emotions to the point where you literally where it literally upsets you. Think of it that way, people. If you're getting too much into any TV show, you are letting AT&T Time Warner Corp or some other corp control your emotions, and that is freaking scary. All right. And by the way, how many people know about what's going on in Game of Thrones, and how many people know about Bitcoin? There are so many more people that know about Game of Thrones and are totally clueless about Bitcoin. And again, it's personal responsibility as a new counterculture. You can sit there like a vegetable and watch Game of Thrones, or you can be proactive and learn about Bitcoin. And yeah, it's out there. Everything is out there for you. Robert Hardebeck said, bought some more on the dip, feeling good. Great, Robert, and thank you for the $10, dude. Thank you for all the support, man. Great stuff. So I'll talk about this Joe Rogan thing next time. Ooh, there's a little sneak peek for everyone. Preakness. So today was the Preakness horse race in my hometown of Baltimore, and there have been issues. The Preakness is probably going to move from Baltimore, which is sad in a way. It's a huge tradition, 140 years or something like that. And it's all part of, Baltimore is Baltimore going to end up the first major city in the USA that hits like end stage, where it's like, because right now Baltimore is being held hostage by a hacker who is basically wants a lot of Bitcoin, 13 Bitcoin to release Baltimore City's computers and phone systems. And it's just Baltimore City government is totally, it's not really functional anymore. And there's a lot of problems on the streets of Baltimore. And it's almost to a point of anarchy on a certain level. And there's a lot of opportunity there, I think. And I'm going to talk about that on future Bitcoin shows. But I'm just putting that question out there now. Like, is Baltimore going to be the first end stage U.S. city? Now, some people are like, well, maybe Detroit is already there. I don't know. Maybe Baltimore is ahead of it now. I don't know. I haven't been to Detroit in 6 years. And I actually, again, the story is the last time I was in Detroit was like the day before I bought Bitcoin. It was in November for the first time. November of 2013, I was in Detroit, and then I came back to Baltimore and I bought Bitcoin because I didn't want to buy it at the place I was staying at in Detroit. That's a very interesting story to itself. So Preakness is today, and I'll just share a story of my youth, how wild the Preakness used to be. There'd be a big party on the infield. There still is, but it's totally corporate now. And in the neighborhood, which is one side of Pimlico is in a very bad neighborhood, one side is okay. So if you know where to park in the okay neighborhood, you're good. But still, you encounter all the kids with the shopping carts pushing your beer, at least back then. So people would bring so much beer into the Preakness, it would be unbelievable. So as a 17-year-old, I went to the Preakness, okay? So obviously, you're too young to gamble, but still they would let you in. It didn't matter back then. It was crazy. And of course, you're too young to drink, but you would probably drink a beer or something. I don't think I drank at Preakness. Anyway, but one thing I would do that would I guess, foreshadow other aspects of my life in terms of savings, in terms of not buying what you can get for free. People would get so drunk at the Preakness, so drunk. Besides, showing their tops, and that was nice to see as a youth and everything. They were so drunk that they couldn't take all their beer with them. They would just leave so much beer there. So you could come to Preakness with no beer and leave with like 20 beers and be 17 years old. So definitely when I was under 21, I definitely left Preakness with more beers than I came with. That's a little foreshadow into the rest of my life. Always making a profit, I guess. And not buying something that you can get for free. And you could get at Preakness, you could get a lot of beer for free. So that's my little Preakness story for today. And again, there's 11 horse races that day, or 12 horse races, and one of them is the huge Triple Crown Preakness race. Hardly anyone in the infield is paying attention, though. And some are gambling, and gambling is not good. And then when you get a bunch of drunks gambling, well, Pimlico does pretty well with that. Pretty well. All right, Jayan Bandari has and it is sad in a way that probably after 2020, I mean, it has changed over the years, the Preakness. It will go. I mean, life goes on, though. Baltimore, get into Bitcoin instead of worrying about Preakness. How about that? That's a positive spin. Turn Pimlico into a Bitcoin-centric living facility. I don't know. Baltimore's reached its end stage, so why not get into crypto and Bitcoin now? Why not? Why not? All right, so Giant. Hey, but let me add something. Even though Baltimore City is a total, it's a basket case. The suburbs are pretty normal. I mean, there's issues in the suburbs too, but just like Detroit has a lot of nice suburbs, Baltimore has a lot of nice suburbs, and again, just like Detroit, it's not just white flight. There's black flight too. There are black suburbs in Detroit. There are black suburbs in Baltimore. It's just everybody tries to get out of Baltimore. Everybody. So Giant Bandari says that India. He's got a new article about India. I read it. Jagant is from India originally. He is hardcore, like really honest about India. For those of you who like Jagant's articles, he is a good guy at heart. He sounds pretty brutal in some of the things that he says, but he is a guy. He's a numbers guy, so check that out. Unfortunately, Jagant never got into Bitcoin. I've been telling him about it for a while. He's still in that gold realm, so not everyone is. He's not perfect, to say the least. All right. Here's a video, and this is from Economic Invincibility, and it goes to what I was talking about before. Fitting in is overrated. He says if you break from the pack, be ready for people not to understand you and for them to shame you. Okay, so be ready for that. And he calls the video "The Importance of Not Caring," and don't live vicariously through others. And yeah, it's a good video. His videos aren't all great. Some are better than others. So again, I give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. You can learn from this one. So yeah, if you're going to break from the pack, fitting in is overrated. Be ready not to fit in. Be ready for people to shame you. And again, you don't have to break from the pack. You can live vicariously through other people. But trust me, it's awesome to break from the pack. Go your own way. Don't live through people like me. Don't be like, oh, that Meister's great. He's doing X, Y, Z. He's buying Bitcoin. He's traveling all around. You do it too, dude. You do it too. You don't have to fit in. Freedom is awesome. So again, I'll go to a Stefan Molyneux quote that I haven't said for a while. Live by principle, not by popularity. And individualism is the achievement. Collectivism is the default. So it's easy to be an 80%er. It's not easy to be a 20%er, but it is well worth it. I came up with something called the Bitcoin Society. I would love to form like a social group online. What do you guys think about this? Where everyone who's in this society, like an informal gathering, just like I'm part of the Bitcoin Society. I believe in personal responsibility, deferral of gratification, and the people, you have a message board or some groups, and just the rules are you don't blame anyone. There's no scapegoating. It's a way for debank people to form a network, and the debank network, it's connecting the financial rebels and the thought rebels. Again, because there are all these people that are saying, I can't survive without YouTube. I can't survive without Bank of America. I can't survive without X, Y, and Z. Well, why don't you all get together, form like a Bitcoin society, a group that's centered around Bitcoin and personal responsibility and not having to rely on these mega corporations and following the rules of YouTube and Facebook. And you guys network between yourselves and create your own businesses. Be a financial rebel, a thought rebel. And by the way, is there anyone out there that's been debanked that you guys know of that you would like to see on my show? I would interview them on this show because this is the Beyond Bitcoin show. They can say why they were debanked, and maybe now they've got a Bitcoin address. You can contribute to their cause, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, there we go. I would like to form some sort. I mean, there's only so much time in the day. I don't know how much time I have to form the Bitcoin Society, but I like that. Something I missed last Saturday, right when I was leaving Baltimore, someone told me, he's like, did you hear about the no-hitter, Adam? What about that? I'm like, no-hitter? There was a no-hitter this week? And sure enough, there was a no-hitter last week. Mike Fiers of the Oakland A's threw a no-hitter, and I had no idea. And this is quite a change in my life. I don't know the last time I didn't know there was a no-hitter. I mean, I'm I'm up on baseball. It's something that's always been around me. I had no idea. So that shows that I have been focused. I'm moving away from that kind of distraction. Now, again, everyone can have their own hobbies and little distractions, but I consider it a positive that I had no idea that there was a no-hitter, that Mike Fiers, that was the first no-hitter this year thrown. I had no idea it even happened. None at all. Very weird. And that also might be a statement about ESPN.com, because I do try to check ESPN.com once a day. They are so fixated on appealing to minorities now, and they don't think minorities care about baseball. So the stuff they have on their front page is like, it's a bunch of stuff. It doesn't mention baseball. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of social justice stuff on there now. So that could be a statement about ESPN. They just don't care about they don't care about hockey. Not that I really care about hockey, but they don't care about hockey and baseball as much as football and NBA. My God, it's ridiculous. Anyway, but hey, you shouldn't really care about sports that much anyway. And checking ESPN.com every day, maybe that's a total waste of time. Although I just try to do it for 30 seconds or something like that. But don't be obsessed about the NFL, people. Don't make it your life. Don't live vicariously through that stuff. All right. Again, follow me on Twitter, TechBalt, TECHBALT, Ellen Steeman at Bitcoin Meister. All right. The reaction of the government of New Zealand following the attack in Christchurch says a lot about the condition of Western civilization. Thousands of people in New Zealand now get home visits from police because they've criticized New Zealand immigration policy on social media. And there's a quote from a tweet, and there's a video of a guy being visited by the New Zealand police because of statements he made on social media. Unbelievable. Now, New Zealand is this beautiful, free country. It's a very safe country. I was there in 2015. When it turned 2016, I was there. I loved Auckland. But this is insane. This is like Big Brother. I mean, the guy says something on social media. You can't speak about immigration and you get a visit from the police? It's shocking. But the video is out there. It is too low. All right. It feels like I skipped something. Hopefully I didn't. Thanks for the questions, dudes. We will be back to regular Bitcoin stuff tomorrow, Sunday. It'll be Sunday night probably. At least on the East Coast, it'll be Sunday night. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister. This is Rob Meister. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video. Check out the links below. Pound that like button. Bang that bell button. Click on those squares. Satoshi Nakamoto. I will say hi to you guys in the chat now. Bye.